is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without prejudice. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
Once again to another purge of the BS. Let's get this camera right. Let's get this thing going. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful daytime purge of the BS. Today's episode is Purge of the BS Reality Bites. And we're going to go into a couple of topics just for a few minutes, have a quick discussion, and then we're going to get on about our day. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, jump into the chat. Let us know what you feel, what you think, how you feeling. Special shouts to Purple Groovy in the chat early. I'm sorry I was a little bit late though. Had some things I had to cover, but now we're here. So I want to thank you all for being here. You are the best chat and modification group that I've ever seen in this life, and I do appreciate you. Albon in the chat. You already know. So guys, let me just give it up for y'all real quick. That's for y'all. For my mods, jump into the chat early. Let's make sure we control them today because we're going to have a quick discussion so people won't get mad. And that's fine. I have no problems with that. None at all. None at all. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, I'll admit, the other day I was really ticked off about this possibility of World War III thing, right? I was mad. And I'll tell you why I was mad. I was mad because it was Saturday night and I had a podcast to do and I didn't really feel like dealing with that right then. Timing was off. It was the weekend. I was upset. But I got over it pretty quickly. And because of that, I was able to sit back and watch the amazingly ingenuine cinema that I have seen since. So I'm going to let those know who haven't been paying attention to the news. I'm going to sum it up, okay? I'm going to sum it up real quick. Iran bombed. Sorry. Bring it back. You already know people was bombing. U.S. bombed Iran. Everybody was upset. They used the term peace through strength. Then after that, there was a ceasefire ordered by our president, Donald Trump. So a lot of people saw that as like a victory. Make sure a victory, or they looked at it as a victory for Donald Trump, a ceasefire, because he did say that he would stop the war, and then there was supposed to be a ceasefire, and war said, okay, we're going to stop. We're going to hold tight for 12 hours. And then if they don't shoot anything for 12 hours, then we won't shoot nothing for 6 hours. And if we make it through that time period, and I say we, when I say we, I'm talking about Israel and Iran. And if nobody shoots it at anybody for a day, then it's a ceasefire. That's pretty much what he said. Okay. Now he was, he added some Trumperisms to it, but the bottom line was they agreed to stop shooting for a few hours. Y'all agreed to stop shooting for a few hours if they don't shoot for a few hours. And then if nobody shoots, then we'll call it a ceasefire and we're just going to move on with life. Simple enough, right? But here's the thing. There's nothing simple about a war that's going on in another country between people and you don't really know what the war is about, right? So it seemed like it would be a great thing. So the right and the left, everybody started going crazy. So first it was everybody hated war. Then it was, oh, watch, look, Trump just did a ceasefire. Why, ha, ha, ha. Y'all was tripping about war. He handled the problem. It got solved. Well, that wasn't 100% true. You know why? because these countries are their own damn people. And maybe us here in America, we listen to our president, I guess, you know, but that's not the world. The world will tell you some shit to your face. You ever told somebody something to their face and then they walk away and be like, man, I ain't doing that shit. You see what I'm saying? This is how I feel like they're doing President Trump. I feel like they're telling this man they're going to do X, Y, Z, and then they don't do that. They do whatever they're going to do, and then somehow he'll respond to it to try to flip it and make it like a thing that he planned on doing. I don't know, but the cinema is amazing. So I had to get through the first part of the story because just a moment ago, the clip came across from our president. I don't know if that was this morning or late yesterday. I'm assuming it was early this morning. But he came across and got interviewed by C-SPAN, and he just had a few comments about the situation. Now, hold on. I'm sorry I didn't bring you to the second piece. So the ceasefire happened, or at least it started, right? During the ceasefire, these fools start treating the situation like it's the last part of a damn fireworks display, and like, well, let's get everything off before we start this ceasefire time, as if that's not gonna create more of a problem. And guess who started it and kept it going? Uh-oh. I'm not even going to say the name, but you know who we talk about. The ones that we are so-called biblically connected to taking care of, or at least there's a group of people that believe that we are biblically slated to take care of that group. So that group decided to shoot some stuff again. Forget what Trump said. They're going to shoot something again. And of course, that's going to keep things going. So it's like, I've heard some people say they don't want peace. And I didn't really believe that because I felt like, you know, people were getting hurt. So maybe they do want peace, right? So I don't believe that that's what they want. And I believe from the clip that I'm about to show you that our president may feel the same. Now, make sure you hit that like button if you came in here. I appreciate y'all. We've been fighting against the algorithm, but we making a comeback right now. It's serious. So make sure you hit that like button, share the video, jump in the chat. Let me know what's up. Big Body Inc. stopping into the chat. Thank you for stopping. And of course, it's a proxy war. The point that I'm making here is the cinema of it all. The cinema. See, if you know something's a movie, if you know something's not real, you can look at it as entertainment almost. Like at this point, let's be real. Let's be real. Since the U.S. got all involved in it, ain't nobody died. I don't even think they sent people on them planes. They probably sent some drones and like one set of pilots for the bombers. They sent 100 and something planes over there. Nobody got hurt. They just burned a bunch of gas. So yes, let's talk about the cinema. Of course it's a proxy war. That's why we don't understand it. Because we don't have to do that. We just live here in America. We live our little lives in America. We pay our taxes in America. Most of us aren't traveling internationally anyway. So we don't even have a concept of the conflicts or why they go on. We just know that that's what's going on, and we don't really have a say-so into whether or not the U.S. seems to get involved in these things. Those decisions are made not just by voters, because I don't, you know, like I said, on Friday night, didn't nobody come to anybody and say, hey, we're thinking of doing this thing in the morning. How do y'all feel? He said he was going to make a decision over the course of a couple of weeks, kept people on hold on that, and then the same night decided to go ahead and bomb Iran. I'm not saying it was right or wrong. I'm just saying the cinema. Let's just watch the plot. This shit looks like a freaking, I'm not even going to say a Tarantino movie, but it's like, y'all know what I'm talking about. So because we are here on Purge the BS, we are the collective mind of people that can see through the bullshit. All of it, from all sides, at all times. It's literally impossible to pull the bullshit past the Purge Collective. It's impossible. Too many good thinkers, too many people who've experienced life. And if you've experienced life, you know what I'm talking about. It's a level of wisdom. None of this is believable 100% because we know the world now. So, Donald Trump touted the ceasefire as a victory, which it would have been because he did say he was going to stop the war. So, okay, But guess what? People had other plans. They started shooting stuff anyway, and so now here we go. So this morning, they caught him on the White House lawn, I guess on his way to go golfing or whatever he's doing today. I don't know what's on the calendar for the Trumpster. But y'all got to hear what this man said. Check this out. Let me move this over. All right, so he said that the reporter is saying, how do you feel about Iran violating can't hear the question. Sorry. That's not my fault. That's them and their shitty audio.
Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on it. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Ooh. Oh. Hold up now. Hold up now. Hold up now. Was that a mic drop moment, folks? He said we got two countries. No, we're not going to isolate just Iran. Nope. We're going to talk about the other one too. I thought you get canceled for that. Don't you get canceled for talking negatively about the folks? You know who I'm talking about. But he just did it. Our president just did it. He said, look, I don't know what the hell they doing over there, man. I tell y'all to chill out. And then an hour later, you send more stuff than you even sent before. He said, we got two countries that have been fighting so long, they don't know what the fuck they doing. President said that. Now, I know we're supposed to have an alliance to one side versus the other, but he did not discriminate in that statement. He said two countries. What the president is saying is y'all need to get y'all shit together overseas. Get it together. Because you made him look foolish, and he don't like that. You made him look foolish because he took it as a victory, and an hour after you're supposed to be celebrating said victory, y'all decide to start shooting some shit. You know, a friend of mine told me the other day, they said that I'm not even going to call them who they are because I get in trouble for certain terms. So we're going to come up with another term for them. We're just going to call them the group. Okay? The group. All right? So the group is supposed to be like a friend, but the group is more like that little brother or that small dude in the crew that's always starting stuff because they know they got big brother right there that has to take care of it, because if not, that'll go against the rules. It's almost like, don't stop dragging us into your shit. That's all I want to say. Stop. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. The whole world is on edge. You're going to let this man make an announcement that something's about to cease. It's almost like telling somebody, hey, no, I'm not going to hit you back. I'm not going to hit you back. And then all of a sudden you hit him back. It's like, y'all lying. Y'all lying. So it's all cinema. It's all cinema. It's all lies. Nobody really knows what the hell's going on except for the group. And outside of the group, we're just watching this bullshit unfold. So feel how you feel about whether you like Iran or whatever. The point was everybody seemed to want a ceasefire. Like everybody at least agreed on that. Whether you agreed on the attack or you didn't agree on the attack or when the attack happened or agree with the Israel thing, whatever. And I didn't mean Israel, the group or the nation. I'm talking about a person maybe. I don't know. We'll say that for the algorithm. But here's the problem: is we are in it. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't for no long-term, drawn-out situations when it comes to the United States military being involved in anything, because I know what kind of technology we have, and I also have friends and family in the military, and I'm not trying to lose them or have them have to go nowhere to go deal with some BS. So let me tell you what. From the phrasing that I just heard this man say, this is some real talk mic drop moment. I'll play it back for you again.
They've been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
The president. And walks off with the gangster walk. Hold up now. Hold up now. He didn't care what follow-up question was coming. He didn't care. He said, yo, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't see any gray area there, folks. Our president feels like these countries don't know what the hell they're doing, right? So you know what happens when people don't know what they're doing? Then the people that do know what to do come in and handle it. So Iran, I see H&M is in the chat. Thank you for stopping it. Iran cannot become another North Korea. We know that, right? And the group is still shooting over at them, which is inciting all of these goofy ass things to go on. So I'm going to be like this, right? Some people going to like me for this. Some people going to hate me for this, but I'm going to tell you what I feel. Let's get this shit over with. Don't drag this thing out. Don't take me back to 2023 and drag me out to 2025. Nope, we got all the tech. We feel how we feel. You think they don't know what the fuck they doing, then you do it then. I hate to say it, just handle it then. Don't play with them no more. You try playing with them and you see what they did. You got to handle it. So if you're going to be the leader of the country that I live in, you got to handle it like I would at this moment, which is you got to handle it. I'm done. I am done with them draining my damn news cycle with some bullshit ass conflicts that don't have no end. How about we just handle it? Handle it. Because you don't care if the world gets mad if you handle it. You already bombed the place. You went and got pissed. We didn't care. So you know what? Handle it. Handle it. When you're talking like this to the press, that means you need to go handle this, because now you're getting stressed out. Now you're coming unhinged a little bit more than normal. And Loma, thank you for stopping in the chat as well. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button and you jumping in here too. I see I got some of my OGs popping back and I haven't seen y'all in a minute. I know the notifications haven't been going out, but back to what I'm saying here, because I'm going to get past this. I got some other shit I got to cover today. But since this is hot off the press, this was this morning he said this. So you're going to see this. They're going to be talking about how rash he is and blah, 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 whatever the hell the press wants to do with this one. But I'm going to keep it real. I don't want to hear about this shit for 2 years. I don't want to hear about it for 2 years, guys. I'm sorry. I need to, hey, handle it, yo. Deal with the fallout, deal with the backlash, but deal with it now. Because we ain't got time. I ain't got time for my family members or our sons, daughters, whomever to be dragged into some long... Nope. We got all the things we need. Handle it. That's all I'm saying. Now they dropped something. It was all after yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, there was supposed to be a ceasefire. Then an hour after that supposedly started, the group started shooting shit again, setting it back off. When the group is supposed to be helping with making this a peaceful transition. The group was giving Trump props the other day. The group was on TV talking about how great of a person and President Donald Trump was for taking the time to go ahead and drop them loads on them bases, right? That was like 2 days ago. So then the same man says, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stop shooting at each other. Now, I don't know if he just said this and didn't call nobody. Because, you know, he could do that. He could say, yeah, I talked to him. Look, this is what we're going to do. And in that way, when they do whatever the hell they're going to do, everybody's mad at them and not at him. I don't know. But what I'm saying is it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to tell the U.S. president you're going to do one thing and an hour later do something different. That is not cool. And I don't believe that Donald J. Trump is the type that's going to let that just be. We supposed to be cool with Israel. Uh-oh, I said it. Well, that's not wrong to say that one in the algorithm. We are supposed to be cool with Israel. So I'm sure that in the back of his mind, that is the goal. But you don't do that to the Trumpster. No, sir. No, you do not. No, you do not. Yeah, and it was after the ceasefire time. That's the whole point. That's why it's like, come on, guys. So if you had a question about who really wants a war and who really wants conflict, the group. But we already knew that, so we could just watch the cinema, okay? And make sure it gets a bad Rotten Tomatoes score because this movie sucks. But I'll tell you what, this quote right here, I'm all for it. I might not be the biggest Trump fan, but I like mic drop moments, and he's right. They don't know what the hell they're doing over there, and so he's going to have to handle it. That's what he's saying. I'm going to have to deal with this. The kids don't know how to act in the other room, so I got to go in and be a disciplinarian. And I'm being real. I don't want, a full-scale boots on the ground. No. Millions and billions and billions of dollars in technology that keeps our soldiers right here. I've seen the pods that they fly the drones from. They in, Tennessee, sitting somewhere with a full VR-looking thing around them that moves and everything, and it's an actual plane up in the sky that's responding to them. Yeah, you think we sending a bunch of people over there? You out your damn mind. Ain't nobody got time to be over there for that. So one more time, I'm going to let Trump say his piece for those that may have missed it, because it'll be all over the news sometime today if you haven't seen it, okay? Basically was saying...
Them, I'm not happy with Iran either, but I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Mic drop. All right, well, I think that's all that needs to be said on that particular topic. So, anybody got anything any questions in the chat about what he said or meant? What I think is going to happen is the U.S. about to handle some shit differently. Maybe it should be America first. Maybe we shouldn't have no friends. Maybe we should just handle this shit because I'm tired of it. You're not going to disrespect the folks. I'm not just talking about Trump. You had America thinking that this is what's about to happen. And some of us were like, look, come on, man. They're not going to just stop like that. They've been fighting for 100 years. So a bunch of us are not surprised that something happened, but I was more surprised that it was the group that kept going because they've been saying that they were anti this, but they've been trying to drag the U.S. into this situation the whole time. So Trump, you got your work cut out for you today. I'm sure you're going to be doing a whole bunch of interviews. Just be steadfast. Don't say nothing too crazy on the internet. At least not yet, but it's coming. So anyway, through with this guy. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to stay on that topic that long, but it really, I don't like them being disrespectful. That's all it is. The disrespect I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us don't want nothing like that to happen. We don't want war. So we were happy, regardless of whether or not we supported the president in the election, we were happy to hear that there was going to be a ceasefire and that we weren't getting dragged into something. So we were happy to hear that. Now y'all still shooting? You know what? I ain't even go handle it, man. Whatever. Don't send my folks over there. Send them drones and all that shit we've been paying for with that tax money. Use that thing that we got up in space that shoots the laser down. Go do all of the cool Batman toys that you've invented that keep our people in the country safe. Go use them all. Because I'm done with that. So what we got next here? Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. All right, guys. This is a short clip, so we're just going to get into it, but I'm going to take y'all into another place. Okay. Where is my scrap deck? All right, you guys know who Kodak Black is, right? Like one camera's too high, one's too low. It just doesn't matter. All right, you guys know who Kodak Black is, right? Kodakian the Blackian was recently at a concert, and somebody caught him literally like rubbing a goober on some lady's hair during a concert. And I'm taking it to this because I need to get away from the serious, because this is just goofy to me. It is. Give me a second here. Hold on. I got to make sure that the audio's. Somebody try. What's going on here? Sorry, I got to log into the. Oh, well, thank you, everybody who's subscribing right now. I didn't see the names because I was looking there, but I really appreciate the support, guys. Like I said, we got throttled like crazy over talking about the Alpha Indigo. Things went nuts for about a week and a half, so glad to see y'all coming back. Very important. So, I'm going to say this, all right? The rap game has changed over the years from when I was doing my music thing hard. People, I believe, are just, something ain't right. It's like they want to play a character. We used to play dumb back in the day, right? We used to. And I used to think that Kodak Black, that's his name, was playing dumb. But I'm starting to feel like he might just be a little slow. Might just be a little slow. Y'all got to check this clip out. All right, let me make sure y'all got a good view. Let's move this vertical. Hold on, I got the wrong graphic up. Get the correct graphic. All right, it's back. No, this might get this might get me in trouble. Because the question is Kodak Black a little slow? So let's see. Here he is at his concert. I'm going to show y'all what he did, and we can decide at that point how we feel about this.
If you went to high school in Broward County and Dade County, Texas.
Yo, he went in there for about 10 straight seconds. He went to the brain. He went all the way back to the brain. He deviated the whole septum the way he was digging in. Like, that was a lot. That's worse than you see when people at the lights. Now, at least I'll put it this way. I'm glad he didn't eat it, but as we can see here, he's placing it in this young lady's hair. In case y'all missed it, I'll bring it back because some people just joined in. And thank you for joining in. Special shouts to Jay Coleman in the chat. Thank you very much. And there's a special shout I forgot to give the other day to A. I'm not sure who A is, but A sent a super chat and we missed it. So thank you, A, if you happen to be in here again. We did miss your super chat. Sorry about that. But anybody else, if you want to send a super chat, feel free to do so. But anyway, Kodak Black. Is he a little slow? I don't know.
If you went to high school in Broward County and Dade County, Texas, shout right there. Shout to Carol City, Norland, and the West here. Hold on.
Oh, he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again.
Yeah.
So just do that again. Oh, all right, so anyway, the question is simple. Are these rap artists these days, are they a little slow or what? What are we talking about here? Did they mama not train them correctly? Why are you rubbing boogers on people, man? You got money. You're supposed to have sense. What is going on? You know what? I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing either. Like, that's just nasty, bro. Ugh. Guys, we got to get it together. He was on stage in front of all them people picking his nose. Show some respect for yourself. Just disrespectful. Disrespectful. And this poor little Caucasian woman, she's probably going to have to cut part of her hair out because he looked like his joints got some weight to him, like gum. They go in your hair, but there ain't no way out. You got to cut it out. And yes, Mr. Black Kodak does need to cut it out. That's ridiculous. I'm not even going to play the rest of this because I don't know what else he does. He's now, all right, so he brought somebody on the stage. Bring some, well, he keep messing with them young Karens. Here we go. Uh-oh, here they come. Oh, that's the same girl he rubbed the boogie on. That's the same girl he rubbed the boogie on. Up, they're coming for us on the throttling. We might be glitching right now. See? It was probably, maybe it was because I was talking about the group. I shouldn't have said that word. Shouldn't have said that word. So if anybody's still in here catching the stream, it is currently being throttled. I'm seeing if they'll release it. I come in peace. I don't know what to say to these folks, man. It's every damn day with this shit. I'm trying to let y'all know I ain't here to hurt nobody. I even put a shirt and tie on so that the images look like a professional image. Some of y'all don't understand what I'm talking about, but this is how AI does things. And I'll say it, yeah, since it was mad at me. No, don't throttle my shit today. No, Jay Coleman, it was because I talked about the group. Once I started doing that woke that thing up, that wakes it up. And here we are. But give it a second here. Last time I had to restart the whole stream. Come on, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping, man. Let me take this text off here. Maybe. Doing. Trying to worry about it. I got you. So I apologize to anybody that's seeing the stream in glitch mode, but because I spoke about the group and our president also spoke about the group negatively, there are some things that happen when you do that. I might think I'm crazy, but a lot of people who've been following this channel, we've been playing with that algorithm the whole time. We know what it does. I'm sorry for anybody that's watching that, but please give it a moment. It'll probably maybe it's Kodak. Is it Kodak Black? Forget about it. Let's go on to the next story. See what happens. Tripping. Fine. Then the last time this happened, when I reset the stream, it did just fine, but it hit me with a ad suitability as soon as I restarted the stream. This was Saturday. So thank you guys for y'all support. I know y'all, it's tough visually to live here with the Purge of the BS because we are like, I don't understand what it is. Well, I understand what it is. It's that real talk. Nobody wants real talk. They want some bullshit, and we don't do that. We purge the bullshit. So because of that, it's like it goes against what they're trying to do here. They're trying to poison minds. We're trying to free them. And we got the antidote over here. Good communication. We want that. We're bad for business. Been said, Bad for business. So make sure that y'all keep sharing the lives. Make sure you keep subscribers coming in. Everybody come in, support this channel, because for some reason, we got targeted. So I feel good about that. I feel like, hey, we must be on to something if they don't want us talking about certain things. Let's see what we got here. Man, I'm mad right now. This next one was going to be so serious. So serious. So serious. So what do we have next? Okay, we did that. We did that. Oh, boy. All right, guys. So since we're in our entertainment area and dealing with what I would consider persons who might be a little slow, there was a recent debate that came up. I don't know if it's a debate. I don't even know what to call it. But Jim Jones, you guys know who Jim Jones is? Jiminous Jones decided to jump onto the Shannon Sharp podcast. Well, one of his podcasts, I think it was Nightcap. And Jim Jones has repeatedly stated that he is better than Nas. And as a result, has also challenged Nas to, a battle or verses or whatever, right? And because I'm an old school hip hop head, I had to cover this story because the delusion is just crazy. It's just crazy. But reality is what bites. And I think Jim Jones needs to face some reality. But I want you to hear the exchange that he and Shannon Sharp had during that podcast. Hold on a second. Bring this over here. I got to make it smaller so they. All right, we'll do it there. Hold on. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can still see and hear. All right, so I'm going to play the clip here. We're going to go through it. Speed it up because it's slow. I've only seen like the first 30 seconds or so of this, so that's good. So there's going to be some natural response here. I don't know what the hell they could talk about for 6 minutes regarding Jim Jones being better than Nas. It sounds like a 10-second conversation to me. 10 seconds, tops. See what we got.
Nas right now rapping. Everybody. Nas was nice when I was in high school. I was standing around Nas right now rapping. Everybody knows that. You heard? Cam was smoking his boots. I wasn't rapping when he was rapping, but Cam really got at him. You remember? I really mean it. We've been getting at them boys, but this is not about that. Right now, 2025, I'm in the game still rapping at a high capacity. If Nas wants to smoke, come in the booth. You ever heard of a Kofi list?
Can I ask you a question, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
You smoke, right?
Yeah.
Were you smoking when you said you better than Nas?
I might have been a little bit. Well, as far as let's get this right. I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo boo when you talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I don't feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
You said that.
But listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out. Nas was dope. We appreciate him. He had a little bit of run. But Nas always came up second to Jay and DMX and all these other people. Like,
ain't no shame in that. There's a lot of folks came up second to Tom Brady.
He never had that type of influence on us, except for his first album. I already told you. I used to want to dress like Nas because he had a lot of fresh clothes that the hustlers used to wear and shit. And we used to see him on TV. He had one of the illest albums of all time. And then in high school when he had the barbecue and shit like that. So I'm a real fan of Nas, but he kind of lost me after the movie Belly and shit like that. Like, I don't.
Man, go ahead on with that, Jim.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm being honest. I'm being a fan. I'm telling you, from the movie Belly was fire, but after that he kind of lost me.
Nas lost it after Belly, according to Jim Jones. I don't know, man. I'm an old school hip hop head. I've listened to a lot of things, and I can tell you right now, me personally, I do not agree with Sir Jones. I believe that Sir Jones is smoking what he's smoking, and he is trying to be relevant again because he's coming out with new projects, and so he goes after somebody at the top of the hill so that it gets him more publicity and people talking about him. That's what I think it is. I think it's honestly, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. J. Coleman went away and came back. Thank you for doing that. Because now we're at a topic here. For my hip-hop heads, it doesn't matter if you know hip-hop or not. If you've listened to Mr. Jones, and you've listened to Nas, you can make your own decision. You just put one song against one song, whatever you want in your head. But I'm just saying, but I also have to give Jim Jones props because that's a bold-ass statement to put out there. Like, you got to really believe in yourself to say some shit like that. So to some people, that's an inspiration. Like, hey, he really believes in himself. He really do. I don't feel like he's doing it just to be disingenuous. I think he really believes he's better than us.
I think we was way too much into the game. Remember how this goes. You ever heard of a Kofi list?
Yeah.
Yo, go back into your history and find out what happened between us and him. You dig? And I'm not trying to repeat history, but don't play with us when it comes to that, bro. We already went wild on them boys. You heard? We the ones that went wild on them boys. Yo, and people out here acting like I said I'm gonna bring the Kofi list back. I just told you I'm gonna change man. That's for law. Can you dig?
Nah, look, I'm putting it like this, Jim. Hey, bro, you been at this thing, but lyrically, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you.
Yeah, but look how you dress. Look how you dress. You don't even be in the same places I be in. I
can be in the church.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there, dudes, gentlemen. Anybody watching this? If somebody says something to you that you don't like, and the first thing that you go after is like, well, look how you dress. You sound like a chick. I'm just saying, just that response puts you in bitch box. That response alone put him right into the bitch box. Once you're in the bitch box, it's tough to get out the bitch box. It's like you get in, but getting out. Now everything you say, I'm looking at it through the hole in the bitch box. Well, you look at how you dress. Come on, shut up. You gonna act like Shannon Sharp ain't got it, bro? Really? Really? He got way more money than you got. But you gonna talk about his outfit. They got a Superman shirt on. Whatever, yo. There is no retirement age for rappers. They just go on to do other things, but you'll always be a rapper. Just like Shannon Sharp will always be a football player. He's just not actively in the league. You see what I'm saying? Chad Ochocinco, same with him. He's a football player. Like if somebody says, who's Chad Ochocinco? Oh, he's a football player. He's the football player guy. So Jim Jones will be the rapper guy. So he's dead and gone. But Jim Jones is crazy to just be coming out here on these podcasts. First of all, disrespecting Shannon Sharp. You don't disrespect Shay Shay. On his forum, on his platform, talking about how he dressed. Well, granted, he did have that one outfit that went viral with the little orange fanny pack looking joint with the green sweatsuit. Now that was funny. But he's saying it as if like Shannon Sharp can't navigate in the circles that Jim Jones can navigate in. That's Shannon damn Sharp, Mr. Jones. Better recognize, I'm gonna let him finish, but the disrespect is immense these days. The delusion leads to disrespect. That's disrespectful. Don't talk about Shannon. And look how you dress. Bitch box ass.
You can't ever Nas lyrics. I don't know who told you that. Now look, y'all know you on that good stuff, but you're not seeing Nas. You're not seeing Nas, bro. Let's be real.
You got a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds in their panties because I said I'm better than Nas.
It don't matter.
Look at you. Look at you.
Ain't nobody from Dipset gonna take you over Nas. Nobody from the Diplomats but you.
Hold on, Jim. Hold on. Jim.
You want to go back to I really mean it? I really mean it started. We could go back to the history, bro.
But you didn't even
say that,
bro.
Don't do that, bro. That's
First of all, I really mean it. Wasn't that Cam's song? Ballin' was his biggest song, by the way, for anybody that's wondering. I saw a clip of a concert of him the other day, and he was, of course, performing that. He had Meek Mill come out. It was a good show, but that doesn't make you better than Nas. Sorry. Doesn't Nas still have Vegas residency? Could you imagine Jim Jones with a Vegas residency? Who the hell's coming to see Jim Jones by himself? Like as a show. Oh my God, I'm going to the Jim Jones show. No, nobody really. They'll come with if he bring his friends. I'll go if he bring his friends. But ain't nobody going to no Jim Jones show. Come on, man. Jim Jones is crazy. That boy, I don't know what he got in the stuff he's smoking, but he is wilding.
I got a question.
Stick up for himself and meet me in a booth or something if we want to do something historical.
Nas say he don't do that no more. Nas say he don't do that
because he got $100 million. He's a very wealthy man. You heard he's a very smart businessman. He got a couple business clicks.
Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on. I got a question. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Jim. Hold on. I got a question. This you do, Jimmy, and anything that you do, right? I've heard you preach it all the time, right? When you was playing football, your first thing you always say, "Ain't nobody here better than me."
Tell him again.
You done told me that story a million times.
Fuck
Wait, listen to me, man.
Fuck you think I'm gonna be second to anybody in this world?
Jimmy, stay with me real quick. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. But
so we're gonna bring God into it, and I get it. Yes, you are supposed to think you're good at stuff. You're supposed to have self-confidence, but you also have to have what's known as self-awareness. Okay, like you got to know what your limitations are in order to pursue the goals to break those limits. But if you think you are the best at everything and you have no room for improvement, then you will never get any better. And if you suck, but you just think that, you're delusional. And what it turns into is what we see here, which is disrespect. He said, I used to like Nas when I was in high school. Didn't we all who were around at that time? So don't disrespect Nas. Why you got to come for Nas? And I get it now, because he needs to remain relevant. But in order to remain relevant, you see he didn't come for one of these little young drill rapping ass dudes. He went for, basically, I don't want to call Nas an old man, but Nas is retired from the game now. If he steps foot onto something, it's because he's bored on a Saturday. Like, he's got his money. He's got a Vegas thing going. Nas is cool. He's not even worried about y'all. Oh, Harlem and all. He ain't even worried about New York like that. So, yeah, everybody's too old for that shit. I don't really know if I would tune in for a live version of Jim Jones rapping with Nas, but I would watch a versus. Like if they were doing the versus thing, I'd watch that. That would be worth looking at, because they would have a bunch of people with them, and that'd be pretty cool. So I'm all for, let's put your money where your mouth is kind of thing. Like, you talking a lot, so let's just do it. Let's just do it. It's not violence. It's not, we're gonna, because that's what he was talking about with the Kufi list and all that kind of stuff. It's basically a hit list, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about rap. So if we're gonna keep it civil, let's do it. Don't talk about it, be about it. So later on in this thing, Chad Ochocinco makes the offer, but I don't know if there was an answer to that. But he says, hey, we should do a versus with them right here on the show.
Oh, Cam was smoking his boots. I wasn't rapping when he was rapping, but Cam really got at him. You remember I really mean it? We've been getting at them boys, but this is not about that. Right now, 2025, I'm in the game still rapping at a high capacity. If Nas wants to smoke, come in the booth. I will rap
He don't
circles
want no
around.
smoke. He enjoyed that 150 million, 200 million.
Okay then, so then leave me alone while I'm on the field.
You was effing with him. He wasn't bothering you.
I'm on the field. I'm picking on whoever, whatever. I don't care. I'm on the field.
Well,
and guess who's the most
field? Kendrick, Drake, Weezy, they on the field. You need to call like Drake. You need to call like Weezy. You need to call like Kendrick. You need to call somebody that's still in it.
That's what I just said. Call out somebody that's still in it. Why you calling the man out of retirement? That's like a young boxer. That's like Tank calling out Mike Tyson right now. Like, come on, bro. Why? You don't need to do that. If you want to be relevant and stay relevant, you got to deal with the relevant people. So Shannon Sharp made a really good point here. And so there's two sides to this. Like I said, I appreciate Jim Jones for being confident in himself. I do believe that people should have confidence in themselves. And that's called self-confidence. But along with self-confidence, you need to have self-awareness. Because if you don't have self-awareness, then your confidence turns into delusion, which is borderline narcissism, and will lead you into that. That's a mental health issue. If you don't realize reality, that's delusion. You're crazy. So to some degree, Jim Jones is crazy. But because I like a good segment, I like good cinema, so to speak, I would be all for Jim Jones bringing this, and Nas doing something like a versus or something like that. I think it would be good for the culture, especially if there's no beef involved. Nobody's trying to kill each other, none of that kind of stuff going on. I think I'm all for it. Jim Jones, to me, is just talking his stuff because that's what he does. He's been talking this. This is not new. Jim Jones has been saying this thing about Nas. It's like every time he comes out with a project, he tries to start a beef with Nas, which he's been doing for years. You see, he never started no beef with Cam. Cam is about the only one in Dipset that really was doing something, in my opinion. And I don't put Cam in front of Nas. So if the best in your camp, I still don't put in front of you, you're not even close. But I'll be all around to watch the music and so on and so forth. But Jim Jones, get it together, because you know what? I'm through with this guy. Next story. Jim Jones, better than Nas. I don't believe that for a minute. But like I said, it's fun. It's the cinema, and that's what we're here for. And so if they do get something like that going, I would definitely watch it, even if just to watch Jim Jones lose. But I would watch it because I'm all for healthy beef settling, if that's what you want to call it. Yeah, I'm all for healthy beef settling. And so, speaking of healthy beef settling, let's keep it going through here because we started with the geopolitical beef, and now we're into old head beef. This story I actually felt was like a feel-good story about healthy ways of handling beef. Okay? So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe and all of that good stuff when you're coming in. Jump in the chat, say what's up. Don't worry, my mods are only here for the trolls. If you a troll, they got you, okay? But if you're not, if you're here for genuine conversation and purging the BS like the rest of us in the Purge Collective, then welcome. But this next story, you guys might know of one Charleston White. Okay, Charleston White is known among the Negronius community as basically a shit starter. You know, he talks a lot of trash. He's very harsh on the black community because of the debauchery and ratchetness. He's open and honest. I got to give the guy that. Like some dudes, I don't agree with everything they say, but I appreciate and respect their honesty. Charleston White is one of those people. So as he does, he was going at everybody. You know, he goes at everybody pretty much. And apparently he had gone at the Island Boys and somehow got a celebrity boxing tournament set up. And I didn't know that. I heard it was coming up, but then all of a sudden it happened, and I got a clip. So I'm going to let y'all watch it. Because it's an old head versus a young head. And I'm going to tell you what, it's actually pretty interesting to watch. All right, let's see what we got picture-wise here. Hold on a second. What we got here? Hold on. All right, so here's the question. When old heads got a problem, Jim Jones and Nas included, should old heads handle their beef in the ring? So I'm going to let y'all see Charleston White versus this Island Boy. And I'll see what y'all think. I have to cut the edges here because it's an gambling site or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Taking advantage of that.
What, like his eye or the age?
Both. Hey,
I'm gonna speed it up. It's gonna make Charleston White look like he got his hands.
I'm getting tired. Yeah. You know, there's
Oh, he purposely threw it out?
Oh, yeah.
You okay, Unc? It's okay, 1 minute.
At this point, I take my eyeball out and throw it at him.
You got this, Unc.
This is surprising, bro. Like, Unc holding his own, though.
I know, he is, and he's 48 years old. Uh-oh, I like that.
Oh, y'all got it. Y'all got it.
I can't see. He can't see out his. Oh! Woo! Come on!
30 seconds!
Come on!
Let's go, Unc!
Come on!
He's giving up.
He's giving up!
Ain't no timeout.
He's giving up!
It's over!
Ain't no timeout! Ain't no fucking timeout!
It's over!
Ain't no timeout.
Ain't no timeout!
All right, well, y'all get back. So nonetheless,
He quit!
all right, so for those of y'all that don't know, Charleston White apparently won the fight. Island Boy quit. And it brings me to a very interesting point about old heads and young boys. a lot of the younger dudes, and I know we only have so many to tune into this channel because they don't want to hear no real shit. Personally, I would have taken Charleston White over Island Boy anyway. Like, just because you got a bunch of tattoos don't make you tough. It don't. I'm sorry. I've seen some slim, small dudes that got hands, and they can take out a much larger person. This guy was like the same size as him. Obviously had no fight experience. So it really made the young dudes look untrained. Like, you're supposed to be, you're supposed to be spry and have all of your, energy. You're supposed to have all of that, right? Nah, he didn't have no energy. And Charleston White punched him one good time, and all of a sudden the situation is over. And you know why? Because in his life, nobody punched him one good time so that he would be prepared to deal with that punch. The guy had gloves on. He's 48 years old. That punch couldn't have been that hard. He's not a trained boxer. But the truth is, I'm more for this than I am for the beef. I used to love celebrity boxing, but I would rather it be like people that actually have a beef with each other. Let's go handle it like men. Let's strap up the gloves. Let's get up in the ring. Let's go toe to toe. Let's do a couple of minute-and-a-half rounds because everybody's old. They're not trained. And let's do it. Now, granted, I don't know if the older crew would be down with this because that stuff hurts when you're punching each other for a couple minutes. But I would even say Jim Jones and Nas could settle it this way. We don't even need to be on microphones. We could just take it to the ring. I believe that this is a healthy way to deal with beef, and I think that we should be a little bit more supportive of it, especially when it comes to all of these drill rappers and stuff like that. Like, even the kids on the street, if you see some kids beefing, like if the community was really about it like that, and you see some kids be, hey, guys, stop. Let's take this down to the gym. Tap them gloves, and let's go at it. Let's put up a 55s, and let's just settle it. Let's get this energy out, and then let's go live the rest of our lives. I hate to say it, but this is what we need. We need to put the guns down and bring the fists back up. Because everybody's always talking about what they're going to do with a gun. What you going to do with your hands, though? Anybody can shoot a gun. Anybody with fingers. As a matter of fact, I've seen a person shoot a gun with their toes before. Anybody can do that. But not everybody can take a chance on getting knocked out in front of everybody. The embarrassment that comes along with that, you got to humble yourself and everything. But you live to see another day. So I'm all for this, and I think that more people need to be doing this kind of stuff. If they have beef on the rap tip, whatever tip, let's take it to the ring. Let's put a little crowd around it. Let's put some money on it. Let's make it a fun thing so that we can just move on with life. Because tomorrow, Island Boy is going to still be doing Island Boy things. Charleston White's going to still be doing Charleston White things. But they all got paid off of this. So why not? Let's make some money together. We're angry at each other. What better way to not be angry at each other than to make a bunch of money together? This is awesome. This is awesome. So I'm going to give it up for Charleston White and Island Boy for doing that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. That's pretty cool. Now, Jay Coleman, look, I know that you obviously know who the Island Boys are. I have seen them do some pretty nasty stuff with each other, which is why Charleston White was talking his shit to them, which is how this whole thing came. So your statement is correct. I'm not going to repeat it per se because I'm already in trouble over here today. Can't say nothing on this damn thing. But yes, that's who the Island Boys are. Got it right. So let me move into our next station. What's next? All right, here we go. All right. Yeah, Purple Groovy. We squash it in the ring, man. I'm from the old school. We used to actually fight. Like, we didn't have weapons. We just fought for a couple of minutes. Not even a couple of minutes. Like, till somebody got hit hard enough, and then whoever was around would just kind of break it up. That was a healthy way of getting rid of some energy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I took a couple of punches, but I definitely delivered a few too. And I just think that was a much healthier way than running around shooting at the ops and all this kind of stuff that we talking about. It's goofy. Goofy. So, we did that. We got to get to that. You know what? Let's go here. This is going to be interesting. All right, guys. Let's piss off a few folks with this one. This is an interesting little problem here. But you guys may not know who B. Simone is. You guys know who B. Simone is? If you don't, that's fine. She's a comedian, I want to say actress or something, who, you know, has a social media presence, and she's really done some things as far as getting attention. Well, she recently is going viral for going broke. So, and they got these videos of her before she was going broke, and then they got the video of her saying she's going broke. And I just thought it was a funny side-by-side, and I wanted to share it with the wonderful Purge collective. You guys are. So, don't know who B. Simone is. Guarantee you'll never forget her after this. All right, so let's hit this one.
My dream career, I manifested. Have my dream career, I manifested it. I'm trying to manifest a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. I get it. They work hard. I used to have a 9 to 5. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You work hard, you have money. I get it. I need an entrepreneur. I need somebody that understands my mindset. Somebody that has the same lifestyle. It has nothing to do with money, everything to do with lifestyle, okay? When I'm in the bed at 3 a.m. checking emails, what you doing, babe? Working. What you doing? Working. Okay, love you. You want to hop on a flight tomorrow? I have a meeting in out of town. You want to go? You got okay, let's go. Okay, you understand my life. You understand what I'm going through. I want to manifest that. What do you want in a man? What do you want? Let's start there. What do you want? Let's manifest it, baby. You can have it. Whatever you want, you can have it. Manifest that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9 to 5. Ain't nothing wrong with an entrepreneur ass nigga. Manifest whatever you want. I want to manifest an entrepreneur ass husband. I don't care what you do. Entrepreneur, graphic designer, sell t-shirts, sell drugs, rapper. You could be a rapper. I'll become a rapper, D-list. I don't give a fuck. Entrepreneur, okay? At this point, I'm about to rebuy my book. I'm about to rebuy my book so I can manifest my husband.
Just my finances.
All right, well, this is now.
Like, the budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing. I've never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, and I notice it in me now, just nitpicking. And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend the liquid. Yeah. I'm used to having liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account.
But you're.
All right, hold on a second. Now I'm going to say this. Okay. Then Bloomingdale's and having to make the decision to go shop at H&M because she's broke. Sound like rich people problems to me. Now, if she'd have said I had to go to TJ Maxx or something, then okay, now I see what you're talking about. But H&M ain't cheap either. What is she talking about? Jay Coleman, you know how the yizzle tizzles are. You know how they are. I appreciate you in the chat though, but you know they've been hard on it, brother. They harder than Diddy at a Diddy party. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, B. Simone, she was talking about she wanted entrepreneurs and she wanted all of this, but at the end of the day, she seems to be just having the same problems that everybody else is having, just on a higher income level. So I used to have money. Now I don't have as much money. Now I have to pay attention to what I do with my money because I don't have as much money. Well, you got two options there. One, be responsible and spend your money responsibly. Or two, go get more money. You were hot at one point. Continue your hotness. and go get more money. That way you can shop at Bloomingdale's versus H&M. Rich people problems. I don't feel no sympathy at all for this. How is that so broke? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. So everybody's saying that she manifested her brokenness. And a lot of people are not being nice. And I don't think we should be. I think, one, she was telling everybody that a 9-to-5 person is not a good person or not the type of person she want to be with. She wanted a drug dealer or a rapper or somebody who was just doing their own thing. Well, you know what you get with that? You get broke. Because not everybody's going to make it. Especially not as an entrepreneur. Not everybody's going to make it. It just is what it is. It's like the lottery. Not everybody's going to win the lottery. No matter how many tickets you buy, there's going to be a lot of losers. So I'm hoping that B. Simone gets her situation together, but she's on here crying.
Just my finances.
My finances.
Like, the budgeting, you see how I am.
Like, I got a budget. I got to be responsible when I go shopping. Disrespectful to the rest of us that actually have to do that anyway. Like, so what? You got to now look at your bank account instead of just swiping blindly when you go shopping. So what? 99% of the freaking country in the world would have to do that. Feel no sympathy for you. What you crying for? I hate to say it, she need her a good man. Good man. She need a good man. Because a good man be like, baby, you don't need all that. You look fine with this. And I mean, she could act like she has to have the top of the line, but honestly, Bloomingdale's, I mean, it's not that great. None of those clothes are worth that shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. You spend $1,000 on a t-shirt, you're stupid. You're not fashion forward. You're a dummy. $1,000 for a t-shirt or some this shit is cotton. It's still cotton, guys. I don't care who put the stitching in it. It's still cotton and polyester. Got y'all wearing rayon and shit. Something's wrong when you think that any t-shirt is worth $1,000. But I've seen this before. And this is the type of people that act like this. B. Simone. I gotta shop at H&M. Okay, so what? So what? Why? First of all, why? Well, you're crying over it because you don't know what to do to get out of that hole. But for the rest of us, we're like, if I was forced to shop at H&M, that means my income bracket is still okay. That's all I'm saying, man. We need to get y'all. We got to stop the delusion. B. Simone, I like you as a comedian, but I think it's disingenuous to come out here crying about having to shop at H&M versus Bloomingdale's or Macy's or whatever the hell you want to shop at. When most people are out here shopping at freaking Target and Walmart and DD's Discounts and TJ Maxx and Foreman Mills. And you know them, they're all over the place. Where you can get 5 t-shirts for $25. Rich people problem, but got the nerve to be crying though, J. Coleman. Got the nerve to be crying though. Like, you can have your rich people problem. You know, I know a lot of folks that have rich people problems. They filing bankruptcy and all types of stuff. But they're not on here crying about, I gotta shop at H&M. I'm sorry, B. Simone. Love your material. Do not like your perspective on this. This is stupid. Now, if you wanted to just say it, that's fine. But I don't think you should be up here all emotional like we're supposed to feel sorry for you. Like you got abused or something. You know? That's not abuse. You abused your money and it fought back. And now you got to shop at H&M. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. I don't know. I just... It's been the talk of the town about her. Because here's the other problem is folks, and I'm not going to just say black folks, it's just folks, regular people, some of them, they like to see rich people crying over rich people problems. It's almost satisfactory. It's almost like, ha ha, now you're like the rest of us. But is she really like the rest of us if her downfall is to go to H&M? Jim Sheridan, thanks for the subscription there. But yeah, if her downfall is that, like, I don't know. I guess I'm not as empathetic as I could be about this, but it's literally like, yo, if you at H&M level, you just hook in with somebody else that's at H&M level, and now everybody gets to shop at Bloomingdale's again. She needs a man. Now, I know there's some feminists that's going to come in here and say this and say that, well, she ain't man, she's an independent woman. Well, here's the damn proof. All she would need is a dude doing the same thing she's doing, like she said in the other thing, an entrepreneur. So I didn't say she needed a man. She said she needed a man. I'm just supporting her thought. She said she needed a man in the first video. Apparently she never got that man, and now she's in this video. So yeah, she needs a man. That's all she needs. B. Simone, you don't need nothing but a man, baby. And you know what? She's not no ugly woman, and as long as she's not super ratchet, I'm sure she can find somebody to link in with her, and then, baby girl, you can go shop at Bloomingdale's again. But you can leave the rest of our broke asses out of it because we don't care. And you know what? If you do make out in life, we're all for it, but you're not going to get no sympathy here. What, you want me to donate to you because you got to shop at H&M now? You want me to support your content because of that? I can't get people to put $2 in this shit. So if you think I'm going to be supporting the fact that she can't shop at Bloomingdale's, no, wrong place. Purge Collective doesn't do that. That's the bullshit. We're here to purge it. So, B. Simone, good luck out there, baby. You better get your shit together, though. All right. Oh, we are moving right along. Oh, yeah, we're moving right along because I had a what do they call it? A hard stop. Pause. I got a hard stop today. I'm trying to get through all of this. We're almost to the end. Make sure, like, subscribe, channel. Don't just sitting over here, just viewing and not contributing. And I don't mean just contributing monetarily. I know everybody ain't like B. Simone and got all this H&M money. But for the ones that don't have that, y'all can hit the like button, throw a nice comment in there, wake the algorithm up, tell them stop playing with us over here. We just talking. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. But we are purging the bullshit, and we will continue to do so because I have no problem doing it. I don't have no problem doing it. So let's see what we got here. Oh, God. One. You know, sometimes I forget what's on the docket until I see it, and then I remember that some things are sensitive topics. But apparently, since I guess we're on the delusion, and the title of today's show is Reality Bites. Because of that, there seems like I don't want to call it an epidemic of gold digging whores, but that's what some people would say. I'm just going to say there is an issue with the mentality of people today, and because of that, it causes problems. Okay? People ain't right in the head, and it causes problems in the heart. Okay? But this next clip that I'm going to bring up, this is bringing us into our relationship stuff. And, you know, I try to stay away from relationship content because it's such an abrasive topic. But I think we need to start talking about it because I'm always talking about the importance of family and fathers and blah, 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 blah. But I think the reason why a lot of this stuff isn't together is because the relationships are not based on the right things. People's values are all screwed up. So on the heels of that B. Simone situation, I wanted to bring you to this other clip. Check this one out. All right. So here's the question, guys. Especially for the ladies. This is especially for the ladies. Is Shake Shack acceptable for a date? A lunch date. Not a dinner date, a lunch date. Okay. Because this lady does not think so. I want you to see the clip. Talk about it.
Look at her. Y'all see this? Look at me. Y'all see how I look right now? This man that brought me on a date to Shake Shack. Like, of all places. Bro. Look at him.
Bro,
you got all the
like
chains and stuff like that on your neck.
Just like that girl, but
she might have been wrong.
Shake Shack is nothing wrong. Then you order the chicken sandwich and stuff. Like, it's nothing wrong with Shake Shack. Shake Shack is a good spot. You tripping, man.
Really? So you could have took me nowhere else better than Shake Shack.
And Shake Shack is a good spot to go
I mean, this what you got me.
Any other
That's
female
it.
would have loved to go to Shake Shack.
You got me 2 sandwiches and a drink.
So what?
Got you 2 sandwiches?
For just this.
This cost you $50.
$50. It cost me $50.
Let me see the receipt.
You ain't got to see the receipt. That's how much it costs. You act like you ungrateful. That's why I don't like going on dates and stuff like that.
I mean, you be going out spending hundreds of thousands at the club and stuff like that. I don't see why I gotta come to Shake Shack.
But the thing about it is this is lunch.
Okay, hold on a second. Spending hundreds of thousands at the club. Now, granted, that's the club. That's not Shake Shack. But she's basically saying that she's expecting more than Shake Shack because he spends all that money at the club. But ma'am, if he's spending hundreds of thousands at the club, he might not have the money left to do all of that. Did that ever occur to you? Meanwhile, she got 2 sandwiches and he don't even have a sandwich. I think he got some nuggets or something. So she's eating 2 sandwiches. She got like 2 meals, basically. Ordered them. I'm sure he didn't order for her. She ordered this food and then proceeds to sit down with this man and then try to blast him on the internet. I'm going to let it finish, but I'm just saying that the mentality, guys, the mentality. Ooh, wait till I'm almost there. Let me
You said, let's go out for lunch. Surprise me, and I took you to Shake Shack. And this is how you act.
And that's the best surprise you could have got. Go ahead, start recording. I'm already in there.
I'm gonna show the internet.
Yeah,
how
show
ungrateful women is.
Show them.
You feel me?
Show them.
But you want to order like you still order like
Show
you want to
'em.
eat. You still about to eat.
I didn't say the food was nasty. I just said I wanted something else.
You wanted to go to what? Where you want to go? Where do you want to go?
I mean, shoot. I mean, right here in the South Side. I mean, all these fancy restaurants over here. We couldn't have got something that at least gave me some
That's
silverware.
dinner. We could have went that for dinner. Look,
Okay, but check this out. Check this out, though. Hold on.
Right
I'm about to prove a point, though. Pick up your fork. Pick up your fork. Let me see your fork. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna let the chat decide here. Is this woman correct or incorrect that Shake Shack is not acceptable for a lunch date? You know what? I'm gonna step on in. I'm gonna get in trouble, but I'm gonna step on in. First of all, lady, who are you to be talking about what's what when you're not paying for none of it? You just showing up. You saw her in the beginning talk about look at me. Look at me. What I look like at Shake Shack. You look like a patron, ma'am. You look like a patron at Shake Shack. That's what you look like. Nobody's looking at you like, what is she doing here? Oh my God, she is so pretty. Why would she be at Shake Shack? No one cares. Okay? Let's start there. Secondarily, why you get 2 sandwiches? She don't even look that big. Who's the other sandwich for? You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I know some slim women that can eat a whole bunch of food, and I don't know where that shit goes. So fine. But then you got the nerve to order 2 sandwiches. So you don't want to be there, huh? So you probably had an attitude in the line, just doing that. And then had to say, and he's like, well, what do you want? Well, let me get 2 chicken sandwiches. And then he bought you the chicken sandwiches. And now you're complaining. So you let him spend the money. Then you want to get on the internet and embarrass this gentleman or attempt to embarrass this gentleman for taking your dirty ass to Shake Shack. Let me tell you what, you'll be lucky to get McDonald's messing with me. I'm ignorant. If this happened to me in real time, the video would have looked like this. It would have started the same with her recording with the guy. I would have been the guy, right? About 10 to 15 seconds into it, when I realized what's going on, I would have ate that sandwich in one. I'd have grabbed both of them sandwiches and put them on top of each other like this. And smushed them together and just started eating them right in front of her. She would have been reaching out of it. Get back. I'd have ate the shit out the sandwich. I would have finished my fries and I would have just left. She'd have been hungry. You can eat your phone then, ma'am, if you're that hungry, since you don't want the damn Shake Shack. See, it's always the people with no money always expecting you to spend money. They ain't got no money of their own, but they looking at you like, why you not spending money? You ain't even got no money. So who's you to tell me what I'm doing? Now, this guy said he's riding a motorcycle. Motorcycles ain't cheap. she said something about him spending a bunch of money at the club, which of course he probably does because he's single or whatever. So, ma'am, you're not entitled to this man's money. Are you married to him? Or are you just giving him some strokes? Because I'll tell you what, most married couples don't have these kind of conversations. Most married couples will at least understand the household bills and shit and be like, yo, I'm glad to have Shake Shack. Because we got to pay bills. See, she has no concept of what this man's bills are. She probably doesn't even know what he actually makes. She just knows that she ain't got enough to afford a nice place, so she wants him to take her to a place that she can't go to herself. Disrespect. And I'm sick of it. Ladies, stop this shit. You're not entitled to a man's money that you're not married to. Even if you have the kid, like child support is one. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about you don't have no kids with a person. Y'all on a date. Or he's taking you out, or he's courting you. Whatever he decides to do for your old trifling ass, be grateful, because he don't have to do that shit. Y'all think he got to do that. He doesn't. He makes a 100% choice to try to make you happy. And as you can see, you still ain't happy. So he wasted his money on your happiness, because it's not freaking possible. And I hate to say it, but there's way too many women now in the world like this lady. There's a lot of women that are probably supporting her. Like, girl, yeah, you too good for the damn Shake Shack, girl. Are you? You're too good to eat? You too good to have sustenance in your stomach? At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, this is an afternoon date. I'm not taking you to the damn steakhouse. He said he was riding a bike. So I'm going to tell you right now, this dude does not want to stay there that long. If he's got a motorcycle outside, I'm going to be honest with you, I'd be out on the bike. Looks like it was a sunny day. I'll get you something unless you riding with me. And you know what? I'm a venture to say she might have been on the bike with him. And she was like, I'm hungry. And he went to Shake Shack while they're out riding the motorcycle. I got to pit stop my bike ride for your ass, and now you're going to be ungrateful? The sheer delusion is my problem. And y'all keep feeding this shit. Props to the gentleman on the other side of the table for speaking his piece. He wasn't disrespectful. He said what he had to say, and I appreciate that. He did not simp out for her like, well, he did for a second talk about where do you want to go? Well, where do you want to go? Well, there's all these nice places. I done already bought the food. We're not going nowhere else, so I'm not going to ask you where you want to go. This question there's no point in this question there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, ladies, if this is you, you get your shit together, because that's dumb. Eat your chicken sandwich and your whatever, and go back and have your little pretty privileged life. But stop thinking that every man around you owes you something for you just existing, because you around. Your smile is not worth that much. Sorry. And 9 times out of 10, you can't really make a woman happy with this shit. They're not going to be satisfied with this shit. You got to go spend $200 on an afternoon freaking meal, and even then, it'll be something. It'll be something. So just stop doing that. You hungry? Shake Shack. We got you. If that's not good enough for you, take your little raggedy ass home then. And go be at home with your cat and yourself. Because that's where you're going to end up. Ungrateful ass bitch. Tough for me to watch this. Somebody's daughter. Somebody raised her like that. Was that the world? Was it social media? I don't know. There's so many things wrong here. Initially, I thought it was a trollage, but the way that the gentleman responded was like, yo, why are you even doing that? And then she makes the stupid mistake of putting it up on the internet so that everybody in the world can basically say either, ma'am, you're stupid, or we support you, sister, you too good for Shake Shack. Everybody that's on some you too good for Shake Shack, you know what? Y'all can all go to Shake Shack together by your damn self. Because that's where you're going to end up. In the back corner of Shake Shack by yourself. That's where you're going. Hold on, let me make sure. I think I got one more and then we got to get it. Got to make sure. All right. I'm done with this lady. Enough. They've been telling me I need to do more relationship content. But I get so frustrated because a lot of these concepts are so simple. And you would think somebody's parents would have at least taught them before they got 18 and came out into the world with that bullshit. But they didn't. And so it's very stressful because I work hard over. I got a few children and now grandchildren. So I work hard to make sure that we put no bullshit out into the world. That is literally, you can ask my kids, that's like a rule. Don't put out no bullshit. Whatever it is you do with your children, do not put no bullshit out into this world. The reason why is because we already have too much of it, and we do not need to keep saturating that side of our society. There is a group of people in society that just be on some bullshit. And they are somebody's children, so to a degree, I blame their parents. So if my kids turn out to be some bullshit, I'll take that. That means I didn't do something. That means I didn't do something. Now, granted, there's some parents that are kept away from their kids, but sometimes the thing you didn't do is make the right choice in who you procreated with. So it may not be that the father was active, but he may have been kept out of the kid's life by the mother, right? But the bad decision was to make that person a mother. So you still had a responsibility. It sucks to have to hear that to yourself. Say, damn, I should have not got that one pregnant. But like this woman in the past video. Think about it. You go get a baby and, put a baby in her, and she's going to basically probably divorce you if you were married to her. And she's going to try to take whatever money you got because she ain't got no money. So she'll try to take it through child support, whatever, alimony. She'll take all the furniture. She will take everything she can on the way out. Because she feels entitled to it. Anything that you've created or made, she feels entitled to it. That's a stupid way of thinking. I'm not entitled to what somebody else has worked for unless I worked alongside them to get it. But just being in existence, being an available box once a week, for him to stick his thing in does not necessarily mean that you get to live an entire life of a lifestyle after you leave the side of that person. People don't like me for that. I believe that. You came in here with nothing, you leave with nothing. You sign a prenup. Everybody should sign a prenup, or at least have a discussion about one. Like here's a hit real quick, right? You can have a discussion about a prenup, and if your wife-to-be is okay with signing the prenup, then you don't even have to sign one. I mean, you could, but the point is the test. It's kind of like when somebody asks you for your phone and the password, and you're like, oh, why do you have a password? And you worrying about them going through the thing, even if there's really not much there, if anything at all, something that might be misconstrued, maybe some bot sent you some titty pictures or something that you didn't delete. That's not cheating, but somebody could see that and be like, well, who's Angela? Like, Angela's a bot that's trying to get me to subscribe to somebody's OnlyFans. That's not. But you see that in the wrong light, and next thing you know, you're going to have that. So I just be honest with you, man. The mentality that anybody is owed for their existence is just so goofy to me. Just because you around. Because you exist, I owe you. What the fuck kind of shit is that? That's that whole, what do you mean, what do I bring to the table? I am the table. If a dude said that, he would sound like an idiot. I am the table. Shut up. You're not the table, ma'am, nor sir. Sir can build the table, but you ain't the table. You understand what I'm saying? But you can build it, but you're not that. Talk about what do I bring to the table. You know what you bring to the table? Stress. You bring a whole lot of stress because you have your ass half out on Instagram and people are giving you all this attention, but the second somebody like one of my pictures, we bugging. That's what you bring to the table. You bring some stress, debauchery, and ratchetness. No good concepts, and if this woman becomes a mother, she's probably going to, especially if she has a daughter, she's going to be abusing men and teaching her daughter to do so. Because she'll end up a single mom. She's an ungrateful person. And so that's another part of black fatigue that people had talked about, fatigue of relationships with certain types of women. And it's not the color. It's the consciousness. Not the color. It's the consciousness. It's just unfortunate that in a grand sense, that consciousness is running through a particular group more than others. So it becomes a stereotype. But it's not all women in any culture that are just gold digging, floozy, just all about themselves, don't really care about nobody else, and will only be with a man to the length to which he can attempt, notice I said attempt, to make her happy. Because you never can do it. I'm telling you, you can spend all types of money, you can buy all types of stuff, you can buy booty, titties, you can buy new hair, you can buy cars, you can buy trips, you can do whatever. Some women are never going to be happy, and you will die trying to do so. So, fellas, stay strong out here. If she don't want Shake Shack, take her ass back. Simple as that. Now, getting to my last little story here, because this one actually hit the interwebs a couple of days ago over, I don't even know how to explain this. We're going down the lane of black fatigue, and we're getting ready to get out of here. And, here's the original.
That we're being called.
Okay, well, this is not the original, but I'll explain the original. So, a couple of days ago, this lady basically her child blew out somebody's candles, another child's candles. And child whose candles were blown out was a black child, and the child who blew out the candles was a white child. And so it became a whole racial thing. And because of that, the Caucasians have expressed dissatisfaction with their level of fatigue. So this lady is apparently the parent of the young person who was of the Caucasian faith who blew out candles on the young black child's cake or whatever. I want to find the original. Okay, It's a short clip, but I'll show them to you back to back. Y'all come on with me. Now they want to. So they said random white kid blows out another kid's birthday cake.
No questions, no explanation. I'm beating this kid's ass.
All right, so that's what that guy said. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel on that. Would you beat a child's ass in what looked like a Chuck E. Cheese over them coming over and blowing out your kid's candles? I would feel a certain type of way. I can give them that, but I don't know if I would necessarily lay hands on someone else's child for that. But that's where the fatigue comes in. But apparently this lady is, oh, shoot, I got the wrong graphic up. Sorry about that. Hold on, I got to put this in property. Like fatigue, no problem? Or is it just fatigue? People fatigue. I feel like it's people. Let's see what this lady has to say for her child, her little ginger baby that blew out these candles.
So I hear that we're being called a dirty palm bitch, a little kid, for blowing candles out on somebody else's cake because he's a white kid. We would walk him like a dog, walk him like a dog. You know what? Because that's what you teach your fucking kids. You teach your kids to be fucking violent. Promoting violence to little white kids. And you fucking wonder why people have black fatigue. Uh-oh. And you fucking wonder why we've had enough of your ghetto-ass fucking bullshit. Black women raise violent black boys. And you have fucking proved it with your video with 600,000 fucking hearts. You have proved it. I'll be damned. I dare your little black son try to dog walk my little white son. I dare you to try that shit. Because we won't fucking put up with it. You think his white parents are just going to fucking stand there and let that shit happen? Yeah, no.
All right, well, she seems very, So what was the response initially? So there was the candle got blown out, and then what did the lady say something back? Oh wow, there's a lot of young black women's saying this. 1 million views on TikTok. Okay, so what do we have here? What do we have here? We got black people who are upset. See, everybody's asking why didn't the parents stop the kid from blowing out the candles? Maybe they didn't notice what was going on because it was pretty quick. It was kind of like the kid was walking by and just turned and went, and that was it. And it all happened so quick. I don't really think that the parents could have necessarily stopped it, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Anyway, folks out. Anyway.
Black women have the support of a massive group that participates in ratchet behavior and ratchet thinking. A massive group. Now, white, Asian, and Hispanic clients, they got ratchet people, but they don't have a massive support system of ratchets. They don't have the same support. That makes a huge difference. Because if you're going to be ratchet in Asian, especially, if you're going to be ratchet in Hispanic, if you're going to be ratchet in white, you can do that, but they don't have a safe space for you. You can do that, but you had to go away from the group to do that. They don't house you. They don't nurture that. The big groups of the other groups rejects it. The Black community, the massive group, accepts it and nurtures it. It's totally backwards. Rather than sending the ratchets away, the massive Black groups bring the ratchets. There's a safe space for them. Other groups don't have that. So it helps Black women to continue the behaviors. When they're confronted, you look like the minority because you are the minority that confronts that culture, that is counter Black culture. When you confront it, you're the minority and they're the majority. This is the only group, this is the culture where the ratchets, the ghetto, has the power socially. The nerds, the high value minded people. When I'm talking about high values, I'm talking about pro-social values. I'm talking about generosity, respect, honor, faithfulness, kindness. I'm talking about community. I'm talking about high values, your way of being. So the people like us, we in the Black community are the rejects.
Uh-oh.
In other groups,
she's spitting.
They're the rejects. In other groups, the ratchets are the rejects. In other groups, that's for entertainment for them. They go home doing the right thing. Feel me? In other groups, the smart people are elevated because they know you're the key to our progress. In our group, the smart ones are rejected and they think you trying to, oppress them. It's interesting. You're so backwards. You think we trying to oppress you. We trying to free you.
All right. Well, that is Taylor Chandler. And she's saying some real stuff, man. I mean, I understand the situation with the kid, Jay Coleman, Al. I see y'all in the chat. I think the child that blew out the candle should have been dealt with by the parents, and that's the importance of context. We got an 11-second clip. All we saw was the kid blow out some candles. We don't have any context to where the parents were, what happened after the fact. I don't believe a fight broke out, but I'm just saying, without full context, maybe the kid was disciplined, but the video was what went out to TikTok and all the other forums. And then we got a bunch of black people saying basically they would dog walk this little kid. Now, truth be told, there was an ignorant and disrespectful move to blow out another kid's candles. But what the kid was not physical. Kid was not physical with that. They didn't push the other child or knock the cake on the floor. It wasn't a physical assertion. It was like they blew air. And blowing air does not deserve a community ass whooping, folks. Now, parental ass whooping, yes. But a community ass whooping, no. Okay? So if you want to recommend that the parents discipline that child, that's fine, because that makes sense. But I don't believe that everybody in Chuck E. Cheese should have started stomping this little ginger kid over that. They didn't do that, but what I'm saying is they didn't do that, and I don't believe that they should have. But there's a bunch of people who believe they should have. And violence against kids is not what we're looking for. We are looking for discipline, and the responsibility of discipline falls on the parents. So I don't know what happened. I'll have to dig a little bit further to see if there's anything else happening. But you guys might be happy to know that the F word is now trending. Okay? F word is trending since the president used it today. Told y'all that would be a story today. Said during COVID, everybody would have been in agreement, which is true, because during COVID was crazy, bro. If somebody sneezed around you, you were like, oh my God. Like, you took your mask down for 2 seconds, the police would arrest you. It was crazy during COVID, man. That was a wild time right there. I hope we don't have to go back to that shit ever. I literally moved out of my state during that time because of how crazy that shit was. I literally was like, I gotta get the hell out of here. And honestly, it was pretty crazy everywhere, but it was like the further north that you went, especially in the real highly populated urban communities, it was crazy. Like up in New York was wild. I don't even think you could get in New York at one point. It was like you had to go through quarantine to come across the damn Brooklyn Bridge. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I get what y'all are saying. I'm not saying a child didn't need to be disciplined, but the visual of like everybody in the Chuck E. Cheese stomping the kid was also not what's needed. What was needed was for the parents to apologize to the young girl whose candles were blown out. And they said black boy, but I saw a black girl, so maybe the kid who was the actual birthday kid was sitting on the other side. I don't know. What I'm trying to make is this was not something that should start a race war, okay? This kid may not have even identified himself or the other child as white or black. It was just a candle, and he had seen candles before, and somebody said, when you see candles, you blow them out, and he blew out the candle. I don't know. I'm just saying we don't need to stomp the child out for the sake of that. So that lady coming in there, because imagine that's your kid. Let's say that, forget if the kid was black or white, just any kid. Let's say it was another black kid did it, and then the mother puts up the video of it, and everybody's talking about they want to basically stomp out your child. You're going to be like, yo, I told him not to do that after the fact. I'm his parent. Let me handle that. Not the community wants to dox me and have the whole community come over and spank my child. Like, that's not helping. Okay? So I know we feel a certain type of way, but we got to be real, guys. We don't want to stomp out the kids either. We do want to discipline them, but we don't need the whole. Thought I was talking. You know what? I might start using that term going forward. I like that. Al Bond in the chat, special shouts, says that when we were talking about blowing out candles, we were talking about unaliving someone. You know what? I might be able to say, yeah, they blew out their candle or they had the candle blown out. That's a good one. I might be able to avoid problems using that terminology. So thank you, Al Bond, my sergeant at arms of the Purge collective there, holding it down for it. So guys, I just want to make sure that we all understand, let's not jump the children, but let's discipline the kids. It is a parent's responsibility to do so. But if we jump the kids, that's adding to the debauchery of the stereotype that black people are savages. So we got to not. Why is ghetto trending in the U.S. right now? I don't even want to know. I'm going to check it out when the show is over because I want to know why the term ghetto is trending in the U.S. F word was trending a few minutes ago. So, nonetheless. Yeah, Jay Coleman, you right. As a parent, you're supposed to deal with things when they happen immediately. And we did not see that in that video. I don't know what happened. But, you know, as you can see. All right, somebody wrote something in here. Oh, now they want to debate her about what black fatigue is. You know what? I don't even want to do that. Bottom line, get your kids, yo. Get your damn kids so I don't have to try to get them. Because I'll tell you what, if you touch my child, then I might touch your child. But blowing out some candles, it would have been like, hey! You know, that probably would have been my response. That would have scared the shit out that little ass boy. My big ass voice would have scared the shit out of him. Now, if his parents weren't willing to have a disciplinary discussion with him, you know, I can't stop that. But we're not going to beat up the kids, okay? That's a little crazy, folks. I know it's a bit much, but that's a little crazy, folks, okay? And since we are finishing up with black fatigue for now, because I'm pretty much done with the whole black fatigue thing, there is another black fatigue issue coming up that I just wanted to give y'all a quick piece of before we get out of here. So you can laugh about it later. But apparently, there are some Caucasian folks who are upset about this gentleman apparently getting asked to be the next James Bond. So this guy, like he's got green eyes, little green-eyed black guy, is looking at the next Bond role, and white people are saying that this is also black fatigue, and it's some woke shit. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I could care less if James Bond was black or white, but I would have been more ready to see Idris Elba as a black James. I think he would have done a good job. I don't know this guy as an actor, so he might do great. I'll probably check it out. I've seen most Bond movies, so just out of routine and tradition, I'm sure I'll catch it and watch it at some point. But just being honest, like, why didn't they just cast Idris Elba? Because that's who we wanted to see anyway, as black James Bond. They could have asked the black community, or they could have asked the white community. If you had to have a black James Bond, who would it be? Now, some people would have said Will Smith or something like that. No. Idris Elba would have been the best choice for a black James Bond. And if they ever make that choice, I would be more than happy to go watch that movie. I think he'd be a great James Bond. So, but white folks, if this does become James Bond, please do not start a freaking race riot and boycotting the Bond movies because of wokeness and all that kind of stuff. You know, support your actors, support your cinema. Shit, we support the cinema that is our current government structure, so we might as well support it all else. Because why not? Why not? So what's this guy's name? Aaron Pierre. So look out for Aaron Pierre as the next James Bond. So for those of y'all that hurts a little bit, get over it. It's happening. We live in 2025 now. James is not just a white name, okay? So no, I don't think it's a darkness thing, Al. I see you saying that Idris and you would be too dark. No, I think that would add to the spy thing. But you know what? A lot of times in Bond movies, I'm going to be honest, Bond goes into places that it's like all white people, real high class dinners and shit like that. And a black Bond would be a tough spy because everybody would know who he is. The second he walks in, he's like the only black guy in there. And like, well, what's he doing here? So it'd be tough to be a spy if you're the only black guy in the room. So I can see where that might be a problem. But I still think Idris Elba would be good black. I'll make sure y'all check that out when the time. So let me get ready to close this out. Because I do have shit to do, as most of us do. But I want y'all to just be vigilant. Today on the news, you're going to see a whole lot of cinema. in regards to the war or so-called war. You're going to see a lot of breakups. You're going to see talking trash about each other. But at the end of the day, just understand it's all cinema to hide from a larger show that's happening behind a curtain. And our goal is to get through the BS that they're putting in front of us so we can be paying attention to what's happening behind. That's why we do what we do here at the Purge of the Book. So I just want to give a couple of special shouts real fast. Jay Coleman, thank you for stopping in today. Al Bond, my Sergeant at Arms, thank you for being the best Sergeant at Arms in the mod squad that we could ever have. I don't think we've had a troll in here for weeks. I think they got scared when we kicked a couple people out about a month or so ago. And ever since then, it's been smooth sailing, just having conversation. No dumb shit. So nonetheless, Purple Groovy, of course, stopped in. And everybody else who stopped in as well. IMZ had stopped in. And Lomar stopped in. Who else was up in here? Who else was up in here that said something? Some of y'all be scared to say something. Big Body Inc., thank you for stopping in. That's my boy Hev, man. He was on the podcast a few weeks ago. We've been trying to work out some things. I want to get him back on here. Talk about some things that are going on in the Baltimore area. You guys be on the lookout for that. We got a couple of really good shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. I got some cool panelist guests coming on. I got a couple of interviews we're going to be doing. So it's actually about to take off in a whole different direction because I want people to understand this channel is not a political channel. We cover a bunch of topics, and because politics are always trending now, we have to cover what's going on with that because people want to know. So I cover it so that people are informed about, hey, the president's using the F word or whatever it is, because they're going to see that all day. And so instead of letting CNN waste your time for an hour with it, I'll give it to you early. That way you already know what it is. You can turn and watch something else that's a little more entertaining, or you can come back to the channel and check out videos that you haven't seen, okay? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves today. I know I did. And we will be back on Thursday with our regular Thursday programming, 11 a.m. Sorry we were a little bit late today, but I promise Thursday will be on time. Because if you're not on time and you're late and you miss your people, then that, my friends, bullshit. And we out.